Well, hello, and thanks for coming, America. My name's Seth. What's yours?
Hey, it's Jamal.
Did Stony not get on the call this morning?
I guess not. Let's get him on the line.
Stony, are you there? Why didn't you get on the call this morning? We have to record our drag race podcast.
Actually, I'm sick. I can't record the podcast.
Boo, you whore.
Hold on, someone's on my other line.
Hey, Seth. I'm so excited to record this podcast with you this week.
Oh, yeah, us too. Let me put you on a hold real quick while I get Jamal and Stony on the phone. Oh my God. Who invited Will to be on this week's podcast? They already call into the show too much.
What?
Hold on. They are such a fugly slut.
Yeah, I'm still on the line.
Oh, one moment. Let me get them on the line for real. Oh my gosh, you guys, Will is on the other line, and I guess someone told them they are recording with us this week.
Oh, yeah. Didn't I tell you that?
Definitely not. I'm writing about this in my burn book.
Ugh, well, I guess we should get started since they're already on the line.
Oh my God, Will, we are so excited to record with you today. Do you want to get started?
Whatever.
Hi.
Thanks for coming.
Hey, girl.
Thanks for coming.
Oh, grrr. Well, hello, and thanks for coming, everyone. My name is Seth. What's yours?
Hey, it's Jamal.
Hi, it's Stony.
And our special guest.
The Will Jameson.
Oh my gosh. Hi, Will. Thanks for coming on for real. Sorry we had to shade you in the RuCapping.
It was still a much better acting challenge than the one we saw this week on television.
Ooh.
It really was, though. We had to bring a little piece of the episode into our podcast this week. And we hope you enjoy our what would we call our parody? Instead of Mean Girls, would it be like Shady Queens?
Mean gays.
Mean
Oh yeah.
gays.
Oh my
Mean
God.
Gays.
I'm surprised
Too
you haven't
real.
seen that musical yet, the Mean Gays musical.
Yeah, why hasn't that happened yet?
That
Oh my
is
gosh.
odd, but we are so excited to have Will here, of course. They are family, artist of our logos, and all around great time on the podcast.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Thank you.
Welcome to the show. How's everybody doing? Is everyone copacetic?
It's a gorgeous day here in Indianapolis. I got some chores done, so you know what? I can't complain.
No complaints here. I went on a bike ride this morning. It's Easter Sunday. I don't know what that means, but it is.
Oh, today's Easter? It's been Easter for like a week, I thought. How many days is Easter?
I have no idea. I
don't
thought it was
know.
just one.
39
Oh,
days. Or
yeah.
maybe that's
Well, I mean,
Survivor.
if you're
don't know.
gay, it is like a week-long circuit party, but due to COVID, it's just been a Zoom call.
Damn.
It's
Well,
whatever.
Yeah, it is what it is. I have had the week off of work, so I've had a really good time relaxing. And I watched the whole series of It's a Sin, which I loved, and I desperately need people to talk to about. So if anyone wants to chit chat, hit me up.
I mean, all the buzz about it. I'm probably definitely going to have to start it soon.
Yes, I'll just give you one clue. You'll understand later.
Okay.
Yes,
Will we?
you will. If you watch
That
a
was
show.
so random. What does that even mean?
I know. I'm like, do I write that in my notes?
Yeah.
Yes, girl. If you watch a show, you'll get it.
Okay.
Now you have to. You're legally obligated. What about you, Will? What's been going on with you?
What has been going on with me? Oh my gosh, so much drawing. Which is a good problem to have. I guess I can announce it here. Unofficially.
Ooh.
Exclusive.
I've been working on a webcomic with a very close friend. The goal is to put it on Webtoons, which is like this online publishing platform maybe by the end of the year. So it has been so much fun, but like weirdly overwhelming to dive into this like completely new format and like world of online webcomics.
Oh, that's so exciting.
Yes. So yeah, everyone listen to this episode once again. Maybe you're on like November, December time, and I will deliver, I swear.
Well, of course, we'll put you all over our socials. If you don't follow Will on Instagram, so many little samples of the artwork they do there. I am so bad at social media these days, but Will's profile is one I seek out just to kind of see what they're up to. So you won't be disappointed, I'm sure, listeners.
Yes, and you can find the links in the show description in whatever podcast application you're looking for if you'd like to go check out Will. It's very cool. And you've been doing like other cool things, like you've illustrated apps and other things like for companies.
Yeah, okay. So I've done illustrations for 2 mobile games now, both of which you can find through the link in my bio. One of them is for free, one of them is I think like $4 maybe.
Okay.
But it's so cool. It's this sort of I've made these sort of like chapter illustrations for this like choose your own adventure type of like mobile app. It's mostly text-based, but you get to see my lovely art on it. And it's just a great way to entertain yourself during quarantine. So please check it out.
Cool.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Yes, Will's been very busy, you all. So there's lots of new things to check out.
Booked and busy.
Yes, girl. So if you listened to last week's podcast, we told you that we were gonna have like a little discussion about Lil Nas X's new music video for Montero, Call Me by Your Name, because this is an unofficial Call Me by Your Name podcast. And what better guest to have for our unofficial Call Me by Your Name podcast than Will?
This is a pro Call Me by Your Name podcast, a very anti-Army Hammer podcast.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Shade rattle.
But yeah, this music video is just so much fun, and I just I really like Lil Nas X, and it's just really funny because all the imagery is like basically everything the public like tells you as you're growing up as a queer person.
Mhm.
And then the way it plays out is like very much like how it feels to be having that experience. And then of course the music video comes out and there's all sorts of controversy around it because of what it's being shown, because it's accurate. Like the music video is portraying basically what all the conservatives tell you, and then they're mad about it. It's like, but
What has
Yeah.
happened here, and that what I'm living for is Lil Nas X is I know it's Lil Nas X. I like calling him Little Nas X. It's more fun.
wow, Karen.
But no, so they're taking control of the narrative here. The story, just like Seth was explaining, like these are all the things we're told while we're still in the closet or we're out. If you do these things, you're going to hell and blah, 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 and this and this and this. And Lil Nas X is one, king of the internet. And then two, well, sure, okay, I'm going to go to hell, but I'll just go ahead and take Satan's job while I'm at it, while looking fierce on this. I don't even know how long that stripper pole was, but woo.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna go to hell, like you might as well be the HBIC.
Amen.
Yeah, this video was so awesome. I loved that Lil Nas X just kind of took control of the narrative and said, this is what like conservatives say about gay people, and I'm literally just going to strip down or go down the stripper pole and like literally just kill the Satan with my
The leader of the underworld.
with my boots and just grind him to death basically.
Yes, these laid edges, these heels, and this ass in your face.
But like I love Lil Nas X. Like I've been a fan of his since like obviously the Old Town Road, but like if you know anything about him, like he's super active on like TikTok and like Twitter, and he's like the king of the internet. And like I forget, it was like a couple of months ago or something, like he actually posted his life story on TikTok, and it was like in parts, and he talked a lot about like he tried to commit suicide because of like being gay and like dealing with all of like the issues in his life, and like he's struggled with his sexuality. And like I thought it was amazing that he did this video, because for him, I'm sure it was very like, it was a big thing for him to kind of just come out with this art and say, this is how I feel about like the people coming after him, and just people like the naysayers and the conservatives and all that. So I don't know, I was really proud to see that he did this, and I thought it was a cool video.
I like the message behind it too. It's just because everything Stoney has said, and he's such a huge advocate for people just being their true selves. And this is no different. Montero, he's just like, hey, I was afraid to be this gay, but it's okay because it helps other people and, makes us a little more comfortable in the world we also live in.
Yes, because representation matters.
And I thought it was so funny on SNL. We watched a clip, of course, and they were like, well, he's part of the hip hop community and the country community, and both of them are likely to have guns. And it's like, yo, that's funny, but it's so true, because it's like, oh, you're not hard enough, or I'll shoot your gay ass, or something stupid that we hear all the time across the interwebs.
This meme has been going around on Twitter forever, but it was like Nas from your generation, then Nas from my generation. It like shows like Lil Nas X, like, just like wearing something like super fun, like on an award show. And then it shows like Lil Nas, or it shows Nas just like,
probably smoking a cigar.
Yeah. And it's just like,
on.
that is like so homophobic and like so annoying that people post that shit on the internet. Like it just bothers me.
They have too much time on their hands. And I liked his shade he threw back. He was like, watch when they realize that Nas and I have a song together. Like, read the people.
Absolutely. And I'd kind of like to add on to that. There's this tweet online I saw that said, what if instead of being angry at a gay musician, we got mad at our own systems that made a gay musician feel like hell was a better place to be than the church? Like this music video is absolutely calling out a lot of conservative and Christian communities who have consistently dehumanized gay and trans people. And those groups definitely need to take a good, hard look at how their words and actions are actually affecting people.
Yes.
I took a lot of notes on this. And another thing I wanted to add.
Share.
Another thing I wanted to add is that I adore how Lil Nas has been making a lot of his own meme content based on the music video and the song. He's been reposting a lot of stuff on TikTok. He has been trolling a lot of opponents on Twitter. He's naturally funny, and he doesn't have to overthink his content. It feels very spur of the moment, and it's hysterical. Oh my gosh,
that's why he's kind of earned this title, like the king of the internet, because it's so effortless for them, and it's really makes marketing easy and fruitful. Because what do they tell you working in marketing, public relations? Be personal, and he's just being himself, and the people love it.
Yeah, and it also annoys me that, like, because the argument, like, for some of the parents and like the conservatives are like, well, my kid loved Old Town Road, and now you're like promoting Satan to them. And it's like, first of all, like, no, like Lil Nas X never said it was a kid's song. Like, there's actually quite a bit of lyrics in that song that are very inappropriate for children, like if you actually know the context behind it. So it's not his fault that a bunch of kids like the song. Like, it's a good, catchy song, and it's fun for kids, like, just, the sound of it. But like,
right,
that's not his fault that you're like, the parents have a responsibility here to monitor and like not expose them to certain things if they don't think it's appropriate. Like, it's not Lil Nas X's job.
Ooh, you better read, Stoney. That's absolutely right. Like, turn on the parental controls, Karen. It's easy.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, like, if you don't like the music video, don't watch it. Like, you're like, criticism is only just fueling the narrative and like making Lil Nas more money and notoriety. And also like what this kid's gonna watch, like a gay black performer like accepting himself and like finding some unconditional support, and like that's fantastic. You don't want your kid to see that? Okay. Sucks for you.
And he kills Satan at the end anyway, so it's like, I don't know why we're so mad about it. Like, it's not like, like he killed the bad guy. So
Tea.
Yeah, but also too, like a part of the music video that I thought was really interesting and such a good message is because this is like call me by your name. So like the in the movie, the whole thing is like call me by your name and I'll call you by mine. And it's just
Mhm.
basically like a way to show that like, like you basically love each other and things like that. And so I thought it was interesting then that he actually names the music video Montero, which is his actual name. So he's basically saying like, that he's like finally he loves himself.
Yes.
And I thought that was really interesting.
Oh, I like that little nugget. I know that Lil Nas is a fan of the movie, of course. They talk about that being huge inspiration for it. But oh my gosh, I didn't make that connection.
Yes, it's so cute. And then another thing that I thought was really interesting from the video is sort of like in the middle where they have like Lil Nas X like in chains, like in the gladiator arena. Because like he's wearing pink, which is like I guess in our heteronormative society labeled as a girl color. And then
Gender reveal.
yes. And then the other people that have him like, in chains are in blue outfits, which is like which is like a male color according to society.
Mhm.
So to me, I wonder if that's more of like him, like struggling with like his own gender identity.
I think it's a little bit of that. And also, if you notice, the audience is stone, which they pointed out in the read. It's like the people in the audience are stone themselves, throwing stones at Lil Nas X. It's like, hey, you can't really talk shit about me when, hey, look at you.
It's sort of imprisoned by masculinity or like the expectations he has like as a male in terms of gender like performance, because he has some wonderful outfits, but he's also been called out on Twitter by a lot of nasty people for being authentic and for
Yep.
embracing his feminine side.
Mm-hmm. And think about history, people. All of your presidents and founders loved to wear a fierce wig and a heel back in the day. They had full face beats on, Rouge included, read books. And my mind went there immediately in that scene with the chains, because the people in blue had these fierce, tall wigs and garments on. But it's very much that kind of struggle finding like who you are and am I male, female, non-binary? It's all part of the steep web us queers are familiar with.
Yeah, and also struggling to break out, like to come out of the closet basically. He's
Yes.
the chains are sort of like being kept in the closet and then to break free finally and once he breaks free, then it's like, oh, well now he's gay, so he has to go to hell because gays go to hell, because that's what the religious people tell us and conservative people tell us. So yeah, I don't know. I just thought there was lots of really great imagery and lots of which provides lots of thought-provoking questions about religion and society, sexuality, gender. It just was it was a lot and it was really good. The song itself is really catchy too.
It's super catchy. Well, you all know this about me, listeners. If I love a song, it's on repeat for like a long time. I don't care if it's just playing. That's been me all week and since I've heard and seen the video.
And I love all the little memes of like that people are posting, like where like Lil Nas X comes down the pole, like by wherever they are.
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen
Those
that
make me
all over
laugh.
TikTok. But no, I've been listening to the song on repeat all week too. And another thing I wanted to bring up, like a lot of the response to Montero, Call Me by Your Name, has resembled kind of the response to WAP from a few months ago. And I can kind of see this parallel in terms of like artists on both songs kind of reclaiming certain ideas on their own terms. Like in the case of WAP, it's like female sexuality. In the case of this, it's sort of like this hellish imagery that's been used as a weapon against gay people historically. Which is it's interesting, I think.
Yeah, that's a good connection.
It's definitely, yeah, that's such a good point. And it's like they're using like it's just funny because there's outrage for using there's outrage for using what's been used against you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you've said all these things about me, and yet you're still outraged because I've just repeated what you've said that I am. It's just like crazy to me.
Yeah, it's just really hypocritical too. And I mean, it's just, I don't know. I feel like these conservative people just want to be mad at everything that doesn't look like them.
Yeah, it's not in their rule book, so it's a problem.
And if you notice too, like both music videos are by Black people. So of course, I'm sure the conservative people don't like that part of it either.
Yes, very
Like,
triggered.
it makes me wonder because Brandon Urie of Panic at the Disco a few years ago, he made a music video and song called The Emperor's New Clothes, and the music video is him literally turning into like the devil. I wasn't following his music at the time when it came out, but I wonder, did it get as much of a backlash as Lil Nas is getting, or is it because Lil Nas is so unapologetically Black and gay that that's also kind of fueling some of this misplaced criticism?
No, I think it has everything to do with that, to be honest. Like, I mean, think about like somebody posted this on Twitter. It's like AC/DC Highway to Hell. Like that's like the straight man's mantra. Like if you're like 40, 45 years old, you probably like grew up listening to that. Where's the outrage of Highway to Hell? There is none, because it's a straight white cis male. Like that's, I mean, it is what it is, right? So
Yeah, tons of rock music referencing going to hell.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know. I just really appreciate Lil Nas for this video, for the song, for the reference to Call Me by Your Name. And of course, I just am so excited for there to be more representation for Black queer kids out there, that you can be like one of the biggest rappers, like, and be yourself.
That's right.
I mean,
So
yeah.
very cool.
Oh, I was gonna say, not only just like the biggest rapper, just one of the biggest musicians and celebrities currently. Like this song is like everywhere and dominating all sorts of charts.
Oh, yeah.
And one other thing I did want to add, Lil Nas posted a video to his YouTube page probably about a week ago now, but I think the title is POV, you're in the bathroom right next to Lil Nas giving Satan a lap dance. And the entire video is just like one long shot of like a bathroom stall and in like dark red lighting, and you can kind of sort of hear the song like in the background, like it's from the next room over, and it's so weird and so funny. So please look that up.
Oh yeah, Seth shared that with us. I got all of my cackles from that.
Yeah, that just makes me love Lil Nas X more. Like that he's just so like cognizant of that, and of like and doesn't take himself too seriously.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, you all. So that is our little discussion about Call Me by Your Name, otherwise known as Montero by Lil Nas X. So we'll go ahead and switch into our honesty spill of the week, where we will actually talk about RuPaul's Drag Race.
Honesty.
Hey everybody, welcome back to our Honesty Spill of the Week, where we are, of course, back again to bring you full coverage of everything that's happening this week in RuPaul's Drag Race. And girl, I don't know. It's like, honey, I wanted to shrunk the episode. Make it so small, it goes away.
I was well, I'm just thankful we're getting to the end of the season, but some of these acting challenges, woof.
Yeah, it was a little rough. I mean, I didn't hate it as bad like the first time, and then I rewatched it and I was like, wow.
Well, before we get too into it, I wanted to ask Will what you've thought of this season so far.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay, it's been so long. Full disclosure, like I like most of the contestants, but just this season has felt very long. We had that whole COVID documentary. We had some like extra weeks in there, and I'm kind of tired, y'all.
We're starting our 4th month of this same season.
Oh my
Right?
God.
And these acting challenges aren't helping. Like I never like these sort of acting challenges on the show. Like the format is so it's so limiting and formulaic, and the queens are always stuck with these painfully unfunny lines that they have to deliver.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I really wish the queens could like make their own content, or be able to have more of a platform to show their individuality.
Mm-hmm.
But it just rather than that, it feels like the producers just need something to fill an episode with, you know?
Yes, and that's exactly why we all are kind of feeling this way. It's like, ugh, Maybe this would have been fun if the season hadn't been so long. It's like, how many acting challenges are we going to see over the course of Drag Race now? I feel like we used to get more looks and design challenges and things like that. And we are missing that little piece of their individuality.
Yes, girl. I mean, we actually did get a question from our friends over Lauren over at the Beard Owl podcast, and her question was, "What in the actual fuck?"
Shout out to you, sis.
I don't have an answer for that. I wish I knew.
We're trying to figure it out on this here podcast. We've been toughing it out, trying to stay excited about it, but I think we're just officially Drag Race fatigued.
I think we're just ready to move on. We're ready to move on from this season and get let's just get to a new season. Like, I mean, give us a break for a little bit, but then we can start a new one. But like, we don't need to continue season 13.
So at the top of the show, Utica has been put out to the pasture with her friend Clara.
Bye, Utica. I almost said Clara.
Bye, Clara. Well, it's like a package deal. One comes with the other.
That's true. Clara is a spirit after all.
Yes, girl. So to start the episode, there's lots of chit chat. Very quickly, we get into the episode, though. No mini challenge this week. And we get right into the maxi challenge with thespian RuPaul in the workroom.
So, I mean, again, we just talked about it. It was like, oh, another acting challenge. But part of me is just like, okay, let's see what the queens can deliver this time.
Yes, in that like sort of Ed Hardy-esque suit.
I know, it was really busy. I'm not sure how I felt about it. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it.
I don't know, Queen. It was weird.
What do you think, Will?
This suit was, it's fine. I don't know. I didn't feel, it felt like they were trying to force a lot of drama into this challenge when it's like they're doing such a weird like thing, you know? It's hard to take it seriously.
So what you're telling me, what I'm hearing here is that you did not want a mustache ride.
I don't know how I feel about RuPaul with a mustache. I have some questions.
Yeah, I feel like Ru's being really adventurous with like his boy looks this season.
Oh yeah, definitely plain.
Yes. So for this week's Maxi Challenge, the girls will be acting in sci-fi box office hit Henny, I Shrunk the Queens.
Ooh, we love a green screen moment.
Do we though?
Yes. I don't know.
How long did it take them to figure out this pun for a drag queen acting challenge? You know, like they're kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel here.
Oh
They really are, yeah. So the girls, they quickly gather around the table to assign the parts, and it's relatively there's relatively no conflict with the assignments here, except for Candy Muse, who has to get whichever part she wants.
I mean, we've been doing a lot of dragging of Candy Muse on the show, but this is just a little bratty. It's just like, okay, let's have a discussion and compromise. Yes, it's the end of the competition. It came back to bite her in judging. So yeah, stop being a brat, Candy.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of mad at Simone. I'm like, how dare you like give up the part? Like,
yeah, I was. It's like fight for yourself.
Fight for it. But like, honestly, yeah, like the problem with giving Candy that part is we basically watched like a recap of Untucked this season. Like it was like where Candy was just like being like this like over the top arrogant person during Untucked. Like that's what we watched. We watched like a reenactment of it.
And we know that the queens kind of walk on eggshells with Candy. Like they don't really want to say anything unless it's Untucked and she's asking them to say something and she's going to pop off anyway. But there was a lot of that going on with Simone. She's like, maybe she didn't want to get into it. Maybe in her head, she's thinking a lot of what we've seen or what we've been saying on the show while her and other queens are just sitting quiet on the couch. But in that moment, it's like, damn, Simone, like serve a little bit of Candy and get your part.
I always wonder, like, the queens almost spend too much time thinking about these roles. Like, as long as you're just campy and over the top, like, you're going to do well, regardless of what the
Mhm.
part is or how many lines you have, you know?
Right. Yeah, that's correct. They just want to see you do something different and take the risk.
They do. The queens, they do a quick read through and then decide to pick out their outfits, but they're having trouble because it's so close to the end of the competition. They don't have a lot of outfits left.
And they're battling the green screen. Like, no green, obviously, nothing that's going to conflict with that situation, which adds extra stress to those wig lines.
Which are already stressed. Some queens more than others. So Simone is sort of having like she's starting to have this meltdown. She doesn't want to disappoint her house at back home or really anybody, and she didn't get the role she wanted, and she's struggling to find her outfit. And I'm like, this is like a really kind of a different side of Simone that we've seen.
Yeah, it's hard to watch because as a viewer, you're like, sis, you've been slaying the season, you've been doing pretty good, but in this moment, they can't see that because they're just worried about how this is gonna. We're coming off of the roast, you know. I'm not gonna be funny in this. They absolutely hated my roast. Oh, I hope I do good. Like all of this is just coming down, and you know how that mental impact and emotional impact can go.
Yeah, I think Simone was just having like a meltdown and I was just like watching. I'm like, Simone, like calm down. Like you've literally been the front runner like all season. And like, I don't know. It's just like, I think you're just being super hard on yourself. Like, I don't know. It's probably just getting towards the end and you're just like, if I fuck this up and go home, like that would suck. Like, I just think she was having a moment.
Yeah, this is the cost of being perfect and doing very well. When you're not, you can kind of pay those dues.
I agree. I just felt so bad for her watching her on this episode. She was clearly overthinking things, worrying way too much. I could definitely relate to an extent. But I also wanted to bring up like Olivia and how she's too polite. Like that was kind of the vibe I got from her this episode. Like it's becoming more and more apparent that she's almost kind of shy and unwilling to really express like a wider range of emotions or opinions like that are outside of this kind of quiet, polite little box she's put herself in.
Yeah.
I can also relate to being too polite in general, but like I wanted to just shake her a little bit. Like, don't be afraid to show more emotions or have definitive
Yes.
opinions. That's not bad.
Yes, you're absolutely right. We want to see a range, not in just, you know, the Olivia Lux we see on stage and in the acting challenge, but in person. And I think that's what leads to a lot of people thinking she doesn't know who she is as a queen and that she has growing to do. It's like, well, she knows who she is. She just has to kind of find a way to start that elevation.
Then the girls, they have a discussion with Scarlett Johansson about some acting advice. You might know her from her most recent role as Godzilla in King Kong versus Godzilla. She should be able to play any role, right? So she was Godzilla.
Stealing roles from perfectly talented giant monsters. Just the audacity.
I can't believe it. She's not even green. I don't get it.
I was like, okay, I think she can be very good in movies. She was very funny in the SpongeBob movie from way back in the day. But I just watching her and Gottmik interact, I wondered if it was going through was this filmed like it had to be filmed after ScarJo had that controversy of like, oh, I'm going to be playing a trans guy for this movie role. And then the internet had a lot of backlash, and she was like, okay, now I'm not going to anymore. And I think the consensus is like now they're retooling it or actually going to find a trans masculine actor for it. But I wondered what was going through Gottmik's mind as he had to smile and be polite to this celebrity.
Oh my gosh. I did not even clock that.
I kind of like forgot about that. So I wasn't even thinking of that during this. So I'm glad
Yeah.
that you're here to like remind us of that.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, for real.
Yeah, I don't feel like anything too groundbreaking was really said here as well. She seemed kind of like a little bit annoyed to be there as well.
Okay, I'm like, no, please continue to read. That's what we love to do in this podcast. But I guess I didn't get any of those vibes. Was I like in Spaceland watching the Stony? Like, what was I doing?
Actually, you were.
She was like, does anybody else have any more questions or whatever?
Oh my god.
Remember we were watching it in Spaceland.
That is totally like the it's time to wrap up the call line. Like, does anyone have any more questions? Like, what are the takeaways? That's my favorite.
Right.
Yeah, very, very much like end of the Zoom call energy I got. I liked Colin Jost kind of popping in there. I feel like I don't know how much Scarlett Johansson watches the show, but I feel like Colin Jost has no context for any of it. And I like the image of him walking by in the living room and just seeing a little snapshot of whatever's going on. And just his mind is blown by, because the show doesn't make sense sometimes. It's just, it's so out of context.
All right. Well, now it's time to film the movie. Michelle and Carson are directing. Olivia has lots of questions during the filming about what she should be doing and if she's doing a good job.
It's hard because the judges want you to, they pick and choose who they want to push and push and push. I'm not going to say any names, but you probably know who, current seasons and past seasons. Push them until they get the line the way they want it to be. And others, they just kind of leave them out in the wind, like no critiques or very little, like giving them not very much to work with. So for Olivia, it's the end of the competition. So she's trying to make sure she's serving her best, but at the same time, like we were just talking about, it's like, take the risk, just go there, see if they like it. And then maybe they'll give you the note. But I'm a little conflicted here because I was just like, Olivia, do it. Like, you can do it. Just do it. And I'm the same way. I overthink and overprocess way too much. But in that position, you just kind of have to on the fly do it. Like, time is money, especially on a set.
Yeah, I felt like they just kind of all like went back into their old roles. Like Olivia's like playing the baby, and then like Simone's just like factor, and then like I'm just like everyone, and then Candy's just being loud, and it's just like this is season 13.
The script felt a little shady in that, like, we're all clearly aware of like how these queens act, so we're gonna kind of call them out on it. I felt a little like, I felt kind of bad for Olivia. Like, she kept asking about all of these like character choices and what to do here and there, but like no one was paying that much attention to it. Like when the queens are climbing up this fake extension cord plug-in, their hair isn't like, they're supposed to be climbing up from the ground. Their hair isn't like falling like how it would with gravity. It was just clearly like, we're right side up and we're just gonna green screen and like turn the screen around later. So like they're not caring about like the tiny details.
I mean, can I say too on that scene, like Rosé was the only one that actually looked like she was struggling to get up the extension cord. Everyone else, like Olivia was just like doing her baby walk up it. I'm just like, come on. Like, I mean, I'm not an actor or anything, but like, let's give it a little bit more effort than like,
listen, see, okay, Drag Race, we know you're listening out there. So what I'm hearing is that the four of us need to come write the new challenges, and we can also be continuity editors.
Yes, and if you need an example of our work, you can listen to the beginning of this episode.
Yeah.
Clearly the work speaks for itself.
Clearly. Also, I like the little glowing green outlines around everybody throughout the entire play.
Especially Olivia's hair. I felt like it was just this like green aura around her.
I like that we have to green screen in the runway for this video, even though like I mean, how big is this set? Could they seriously not use the runway? Like,
right. We go out there for choreo practice. Why can't we stand there and recite our lines, hit record, and go home?
Maybe they were busy filming like the other 20 seasons that Ru's filming.
Oh shit!
Oh, get those secret celebrities in there. Yeah.
Ooh, see, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Another thing that was kind of interesting is that the queens, they comment on Rosé's journey in the competition and notice that she's finally let her guard down so that she can actually like have fun.
I noticed that's something I've noticed about Rosé since the start, and I think it's why we were kind of iffy in the Meet the Queens about Rosé. They just very like, I'm here to do the job, I'm gonna slay it, and you don't have to be in these streets telling everyone your personal business. But it's nice to see a person warm up to the room and the other cast members. You get to learn a little more about them, and yeah, it just kind of feels like, hey, we're just now getting that from Rosé, so it's refreshing and good to see.
I agree. I think Rosé has felt very practiced,
Mhm.
like very like has like is almost too self-aware of the fact that like, okay, I'm going to be on reality TV. Here's how I come across. Here's what I should be saying. And I just, yeah, I want a little bit more authenticity. You know, I don't think that's a bad thing.
Yeah, I think you hit
Nope.
the nail on the head there.
We need more of like a Jan moment where it's like this bitch wants to win so badly that she can't like hide it.
But also at the same time, like I feel like Rose is not totally at fault for the way she's acting because the fans are so crazy. I don't blame her for trying to like make sure that she's presented in a good light and not saying
Mhm.
anything too controversial, things like that, because she does want the fans to like her.
For sure. I mean, there
Yeah.
are so many levels and layers.
So yeah, I don't know, but it was nice to see her be herself and just have a little bit more fun. And I like it makes you kind of like get to know them, so you can kind of build that connection with the queen, and it shows their vulnerability. And
Mhm.
ultimately, RuPaul wants to see that too.
Oh, they love vulnerability.
Yes, they do.
So it's the next day in the workroom, and the girls are getting ready for the runway. We see a little bit more of Simone having her like mental breakdown in her talking head. She's crying, and they're really laying this storyline on pretty thick with her.
Especially being in the same house as Queen Gigi, of course, and we know how like iconic they turned out to be. And Stoney and I were talking about this on the couch, like y'all are here with us.
Oh, in the Interior Illusions Lounge.
Yes,
Yes.
there we go, on the couch.
On the couch.
We saw like Gigi. It's hard not to compare yourself, especially when you have a sister that's been on the show and made it to the finale, and you're right at the finale basically, and she's like, oh shit, I could lose this if I don't get this right. But Gigi had moments where they were not sure if they were going to turn it out either, and I don't know if they stayed up all night and practiced, if the bitch just knew how to backflip in heels already. But in the end, you push through it, and Simone is very much having this moment. She's like, oh my gosh, I'm not sure if I can do this. And I just wanted to hold her hand and give her a big hug, but my TV probably would have fell if I tried to do that.
Yeah, they had similar trajectories, really, if you think about it, because Gigi like wasn't, she had like really good fashion moments, but like she had some like really bad challenges, like especially comedy stuff. So
Yes.
I don't know. I feel like that's where I was like, I felt bad for Simone because I'm like, girl, you're overthinking this because like literally you've been like one of the stars of the season, like probably more so than even Gigi.
I can definitely see that. But I feel like the way that it was portrayed on the show, like this episode, we are really honing in on Simone's insecurity to the point where it felt like, okay, this has to get resolved and like quote unquote resolved in this episode as
Mhm.
sort of like a narrative arc for Simone, like it's so blatant. But I wanted to just add one more thing about Henny, I Shrunk, the drag queens before we transition fully, if that's cool. I took notes during the episode, and something.
Well, let's go ahead and let's talk about the scene. So we'll start the discussion.
Okay, cool. Okay, I didn't. Yeah, I just try to be prepared. I swear.
We appreciate it.
Yes.
Thank you. So I wrote down the whole scene where Gottmik is acting like the character is allergic to this massive cat paw and is laughing while it tickles her, but the scene was weirdly sexual. Like
A little bit.
Gottmik
Yeah.
was acting like very horny for this massive cat paw, and I didn't really want to have to watch this on my television.
I know. I was more focused on like Gottmik being silly and flopping around on the floor, but when she got on her back, I was like, "Oh sis, pat the puss, pat the puss."
I feel like this is probably like very triggering for like the furry community or something. I don't know.
Well,
Well,
I
I guess
say it now.
I guess
Oh,
you can sound
never mind.
off. Yeah,
He's
if
talking
you're
about
triggered.
Yeah, he's talking about the actual cat paw. My slow ass. I missed the joke.
We got there, girl.
Sorry.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, I don't know. This is just so wild. I mean, I guess just to say the premise of this Henny, I Shrunk the Kids or the Queens. Have you seen that movie, Will? I know you're a baby, so you're probably like more in the demographic for the show.
I'm a literal infant. Yes. I've seen
You and
like bits and
Olivia.
pieces of it. I think one of the people who wrote the movie actually went to my alma mater, Washington University in St. Louis. Shout out to them.
Oh.
So I've seen bits and pieces. I'm familiar with the concept. I hope that it wasn't as pseudosexual as the skit turned out to be.
It was far less sexual. This was like made in the
Yeah.
80s or early 90s.
I think it was like a Disney movie, right? Like,
Or
maybe not. I don't
Well,
know.
I know they have a ride. They used to have a ride about Honey, I Shrunk the Kids at Disney World or Land.
Okay, so it must have been.
Yeah, but yes. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, one question I have is, I'm pretty sure they did a sequel to the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, right? Like,
Mhm.
Oh yeah, there's at least I think there might be even 3.
Well,
Yeah.
because it's like
Ooh.
Honey, I Blew Up the Kids is like the third one, I think, or maybe the second
oh
one.
no,
I think that might be the second one. Yeah, the baby gets huge.
Why don't the movies like the wife should be divorcing this dad who keeps accidentally shrinking and then growing his children? Like, that is absolutely grounds for divorce. It's a non-consensual. It's deeply those kids are going to be in therapy for a long time. I think these movies really need to deal with the terrifying reality of size changes.
Will said, "Leave my babies alone. This is the last time you and your
Well,
toys."
It's the kids' fault because they got into the room and they should not have went into the room. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been shrunk.
Yeah, so listen to your parents, kids.
I'm on Will's side on this one.
Oh
And
my
why
gosh.
isn't like the US government getting involved in this? Like, shrinking technology. Oh my god, the army would have a field day with this.
Ant-Man.
Yeah, it's part of the Marvel universe.
Yes, there are definitely a few parts of my body that I would like to locally aim this beam at.
Oh shit! Now that would be the game changer right there.
Wait, that means Gottmik is now part of the MCU.
Whoa. But also I thought it was really funny, like when they were walking on the floor, because they're trying to get to the shade button because Candy's character has shrunk them with their toxic overhead lighting. And so I thought it was really funny when they're like, do they ever clean up the workroom and you see the little Dela lipstick from when she eliminated
Yes.
herself?
I died. I died. I was like, yes, that's so great.
Yeah, and I mean, we have to call out too, like them falling on India Ferris breastplate.
I was gonna bring that up. I was genuinely surprised they can show a breastplate on like television. I don't know. I thought it would have been censored, but like, good for them.
I thought about
Yeah.
that too. It's like, yep, those are some titties.
I guess this isn't the BBC.
Yeah, but like also I feel like what they should have done was they should have like jumped down onto India Farah's breastplate and then it should have propelled them up into the next table so that they
Mhm.
could get to the shade button.
Same. That's
Yeah.
what I thought should have happened, but I don't know.
I do. I was happy to see Simone did all right overall in the challenge, because where Simone's that natural funniness comes from is when she can kind of be that character she's a little more comfortable with, and it's just more of the isms and how they respond versus having to come up with content. So
With
I
her factory
died.
voice.
Yeah. Especially when she threw Gottmik to the giant cat paw.
Girl, bye. I felt that.
I mean, listen, that I felt that as well. I probably would have had to throw the bitch too.
That was really funny. And then, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it just seemed like a very much like a middle school play of sorts because
Yeah.
I don't know. It just didn't feel like I don't know, didn't feel authentic to me.
What about the shrinking of drag queens via the use of overhead lighting felt inauthentic to you, Seth?
Well, basically, no.
Yeah,
Where were you lost?
I do feel like there were a lot of plot holes in this.
It wasn't
script.
believable. I did like when Michelle came in and mopped all the girls' stuff.
Listen, that top she was wearing, that's gonna be me when I'm like an ancient queen. It's like that's my future. Stealing makeup and wearing nice lace tops.
Yes, girl. But yeah, I don't know. The scene was interesting. Then, of course, they all get revenge. Like, we have to talk about Olivia as Ginger reading candies. Like, it was just so funny. She's like cursing up a storm.
I was living for that, and also I was like so mad at Olivia again because this is the range that we're looking for. I don't care if you want to be like the little giggly, soft, sweet queen, and then like this is where you throw in like this is what should have happened on the roast if I can form words and sentences. We want to see some kind of contrast. It doesn't have to change your complete persona, but if you're going to be like crazy happy and overly happy and sensitive, be that. But it felt kind of like one note until this moment. And I was like, yes, read. And watching Candy get smaller as all these bleeps are just flying across the screen. And she's got her glasses on, that neck is rolling. I was just so loving this from Olivia.
Yeah. But also, like in the challenge, Candy was just kind of being Candy.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
agree. I mean, there at the one point, like Michelle literally just was like, "I want you to keep screaming again and again and again," and she just kept giving the same like delivery of the lines, and it's like this is an insanely absurd premise. Like, why wouldn't you go all out with it? You can't like, this isn't like dramatic acting.
Right. I agree.
Well, yeah,
I think she forgot the line is why she kept having to re-say it, and then. And because I think she was messing up the line, and that's why they kept having her say it. But like what Will was saying is that she did keep it like really flat. Like the performance didn't really change very much.
Mhm.
And yeah, I don't know. I just think that yeah, I don't know. I don't think Candy did bad, but she was definitely not one of the better ones in the scene.
Yeah, it's the same critique that they give Olivia should be given to Candy, because it's like they're saying, Olivia, look, you're so nice all the time. You always have this like baby voice and you're super like pleasant. Where it's like Candy does the same exact thing. She's loud, obnoxious, and just like an evil bitch. And it's like they seem to like give her a pass every time. Which
Well,
granted,
they did tell her she was being like too much like Candy.
Finally, in general.
Finally. Yeah, finally.
Yeah, but we'll get to the lip sync where I feel like another pass was given, but we'll see.
Yeah, I have
Tell us
things
how
to
you
say.
really feel.
I'm getting my popcorn and tea ready.
Yes, girl. So another interesting thing to talk about is that they were talking about like having representation. Like, have you ever seen like representation of yourself on TV? And the most interesting part of that to me was when Gottmik was saying that there was really no representation because, like, I mean, there's people like Chaz Bono, but Chaz is more of like a masculine guy, and whereas Cade or Gottmik, he's like, a more feminine guy, maybe a more stereotypical gay guy. I don't know if you want to say that way.
Yeah, you can. Some people say like stereotypes are stereotypes for a reason, but I disagree with that. I think it's just boxes people try to force you in. So like we've learned a lot from Gottmik is them trying to find that balance because of the stereotypes. Like, oh no, I'm going to be this kind of gay. I could never. But of course, we're happy to see that that's not the case with Cade.
Yeah, I'm just super. Oh, I'm sorry. I was
sorry. Go ahead. I guess we can cut that part out.
I was gonna say, like, I'm super proud of like having Gottmik on this season, because I just feel like Gottmik has such an amazing story, and to learn kind of about just the fact that like being trans and like femme at the same time, like it's such like I just think like growing up gay and having to deal with like being like somewhat femme, like how difficult that is, but to also be trans like is a whole nother added level. And it gave me like even just a learning opportunity about the trans community, and it just gave me an opportunity to learn more about like how difficult that would have to be. And just I don't know, it made me think, and I was just really glad that Gottmik was on this season.
Yeah, I
Yes.
was gonna add that I mean Gottmik is providing trans representation from a very authentic point of view that I don't really see any television shows doing right now. I mean, except for Pose, but that's kind of a very different scenario. But yeah, looking back on it, only within the last few years have like trans people not been a punchline on television. Like we
Yeah.
finally progressed from like the Friends making fun of like a dude in a dress and a wig to, oh, trans people also get to be human, and oh, they also get to have more than like one line or be on like a very special episode kind of deal. So
Right.
I mean, it's already it's hard enough for gay people to find good representation, but it's even more difficult for trans people. There's even
Yeah.
far less.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Well, let's go ahead and take a quick little break here. And when we come back, we'll talk about the runway. Hey, everyone. Thanks for listening to our podcast so far. Thanks for coming. Right now, we're probably refilling our drinks or maybe even gluing down our lashes again. While you wait, here's some things that you should check out.
Yeah, remember everyone, you can email us tfcpod@gmail.com and tfcpod on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
Oh, and one more thing. You're not my real dad, and you never will be. Anyways, back to the show. Hey everybody, welcome back again to our Honest Tea Spill of the Week, where of course we are recapping the runway. This week the category is Haute Pocket.
Yes, pockets. I love a hoot pocket.
Yes, honey, like make it pepperoni but chic.
I was always a ham and cheese kind of girl growing up.
Yeah, you are that girl. I knew you were.
Doesn't that make a good drag name, pepperoni? I could see this. This could be a thing.
Yes.
I like it.
Like Peppa Pig.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
genius.
Pepperoni.
Someone take that drag
Yes.
name. Credit Will.
Yeah.
I better get royalties from this. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, before we talk about the runway, we have to discuss how fabulous Cynthia Erivo looked on the guest panel.
I was loving this look. I was just all here for it. Just, that skin was moisturized just perfectly. I loved the little pop of blonde. I'm a fan of very short cuts, and when they're on darker skin with that bright platinum like pop of color, that's what I always wanted and could never achieve. And I love accessories, of course.
Yeah, she was beautiful. I'm glad that we had a guest judge, like a new guest judge.
Yeah, I was wondering if they made her quarantine just for that one episode, or like,
Oh.
did they just fly her in under the radar?
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. We need some inside scoop on that.
I adore Cynthia Erivo. I don't know if you all ever watched the HBO show The Outsider. It was based on a Stephen King book. The show itself was very boring. She was the best part of it. Broadway icon. I really wanted to bring to attention for everyone listening that Cynthia Erivo, a few years ago, she and another Broadway legend, Shoshana Bean, they did a music video covering I Did Something Bad by Taylor Swift. And you need to pause this podcast and watch this video because it will give you life. It will add more years onto your lifespan.
Yes, Will shared this with us and we watched before we hit record, and it's impactful is the word I like using, just the way they perform the song in the video. And of course the vocals, I just live for a good vocal. I'm a show tune kind of gal, so I love these voices.
And there was like live strings, which is always good. And I don't know, these were just some bad bitches. I loved everything about it.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful, and just such like a kind spirit. You can tell that she's just like someone that's fun to hang out with. And I have seen the movie Harriet, and I really enjoyed her in that as well. I just figured I would say that she was like, I mean, I was just completely blown away with her acting in that movie.
Very talented individual.
But I have to say, Simone was pretty up there in terms of historically accurate depictions of Harriet Tubman. Like,
That's
I
true.
can't compare the two, but I think I'm going to. You know, like Simone is up there for me.
I was living for that performance.
Yes, girl. All right. So let's go ahead and talk about the runway, starting with Simone.
This was very cool. I thought it was kind of like, it was punk rock, but it was kind of more of the soft side of punk rock. Like, I'm not going to get too dirty tonight, but I still need to bring a fierce look to the stage. I liked how the zipper came down. I thought that part was placed very well. Just another creative look. Like, we're not trying to say Simone is like just a look queen. She can serve these looks. Like, where their mind goes, her, Gigi, that whole house with fashion, it's very like forward thinking in my opinion.
Yes, I love this look, but more importantly, I love the story behind the look. I loved her talking about like it was kind of an ode to like her like punk friends in high school that just like let her be like who she wanted to be.
Yes.
And I
Gay
thought that-
Reggie.
yes, gay Reggie. I just love that story. So anytime the queens can come out there with serving a look and then also have like a personal connection to it, it's just so much better.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I adored it. It was avant-garde. It was weird. It was also very flattering. It looked good on her, and I desperately wanted to know where she got that massive zipper, like that zipper tag. I want one.
I would love it.
If someone could send me a link to like bigzippersforqueens.com, like just hit me up on Instagram.
Yes, girl. I love this because when I think of like those sort of like Paramore, type scene, it's like, girls, guys, it's all in denim jeans. And so I thought that the hair really made sense with the look she was wearing.
Yes.
And actually Gigi made that wig for her, styled that wig for her.
Oh, work.
Aww.
So I was really into it. Brought me back to my younger days when I was listening to like Paramore and stuff.
I still listen to Paramore pretty regularly. I love Hayley Williams' voice, so I loved that Queen Simone was referencing her as well.
Yes. Next we have Olivia Lux. Do you think this was a pocket look or not a pocket look?
I have mixed feelings because all of the girls, or I'll be say all the people who love to wear dresses, love a dress with pockets. We love a dress with pockets because I feel like in, traditional, in quotes, ladies fashion, there was never a place for them to put their things. So all of my good Judies who love gowns and dresses love a pocket. So was it pocket enough for the runway? Probably not, but I still think she looked really fierce.
Yeah, I liked it. I don't know. I thought it was a really good look. Olivia looked beautiful, and it was a pocket. So like, get the hell out of here. Like, just stop, Michelle, or whoever said that.
We don't need Michelle to be gatekeeping pockets from us. Okay.
That's the last thing we need.
That does sound like something Michelle would do though.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I thought this dress was a beautiful dress, but as far as like pockets and the other looks we saw on the runway, it was like maybe, I don't know. It looked like maybe it was just like a dress that was supposed to be like about bow ties, and then she was like, "Oh, this is gonna be pockets, so I'm gonna put my hands like they are out in pockets." I don't know. I didn't feel strongly for the category.
Yeah, I get what she was trying to accomplish. The pockets are kind of supposed to be the hips and the shape, but it just didn't go far enough.
All right, next up we have another questionable pocket look, Candy Muse.
Oh God, child. I think this is what Lala Ree wanted to do with those gift bags.
Wow, never forget.
But I was just, you just know it's a bad look. You feel bad for the queens when you just know it's like a mess of an outfit. So I was kind of cringing at this whole moment.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on. Like, I hope there's like a backstory as to why she was wearing this. Like, maybe something happened where she just had to like put this together real quick. But like, I don't know. Like, this is another like bad runway look from Candy, and here we are.
In the top 5.
It's like that meme that's going around on Twitter right now. Like, season 13 is fashion, and it's like Lala Ree and like a bunch of Candy looks.
Yeah, it was. I mean, like props to her for making this look and really trying to make something really elaborate. I think
Yes.
just when it comes to technical details, I mean, the silhouette didn't have much definition. It was just kind of like laying on her rather than
tube.
having like a distinct shape.
Yes.
So it just like conceptually, I was into the idea, but it needed to be exaggerated a whole lot more.
Yeah, it was needing some editing for sure. And I give her props for taking the risk. It just did not come together.
Yeah, because like when she first came out, I was like, oh, I think I actually like this look. And then like as I looked at it more, I was like, I don't know, this is kind of weird. So it's like I wanted to like the look, but then I couldn't. And that Karen Bob.
That's the Karen Bob that gives me like I can't be racist, my husband's black. Very that.
Ugh.
But this look could have worked if the pockets weren't so like crazily patterned. Like I love playing with patterns, but if the pockets were more pronounced, I think she might have been able to get away with this look.
You know, this actually kind of reminds me of Simone's look with the Polaroids, but like her outfit was better.
Except actually good.
Well, and yeah, I mean, also, yeah, Simone also didn't wear it down our runway because she probably knew, okay, this is like perfect for an entrance look, but not like final
Not the
5
runway. Yeah, and then like on the runway too, Candy was like, I just don't feel beautiful in it. And yeah, and like agreeing with the judges, I'm like, this is the pocket look you brought. Like, why didn't you bring a better look then? If you didn't.
Why would
It's
you
your
go
look,
out on the
girl.
runway? Like, why would you go out on the runway with something that you don't feel good in?
And this is clearly the outfit she brought for Pocket. So like.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I hope there's a backstory. Like, I don't follow Candy on Twitter, I don't think. So I don't really know what she's saying, but like,
You definitely don't.
yeah. Because, you know, like sometimes they're like, oh, well, this happened, so I had to wear this. Like, that's what I'm hoping happened with this.
Okay, like a last minute kind of switcheroo.
Yeah. One thing I will say about her look that I did like was her face beat, because I thought it was really interesting the way that she painted the green and I guess orangish colors like around her eyebrows. I don't know. It was just really interesting to me the way that was painted on. And then I think there was a little like line around her mouth or something. Like it looked like almost like there was paint on her of sorts.
Yeah, I didn't mind the face beat at all. I did feel for her, but at the same time, I'm kind of just like, you could make an outfit too. If you don't like it.
They had that whole wall
change.
from fabric.com.
Yes, that whole situation over there that could help. Or even just to do a quick tailoring moment, make quick changes for the things that you don't like about the garment. It was just a missed opportunity, Candy.
Let's go ahead and move on to Rosé.
I love the 60s, like Rosé. That's my favorite like fashion kind of era. I was living for every moment of this. I love that it was black and white, and the reveal was very smart in my opinion. It was simple and it was giving you a lot without being too much.
Yeah, I also really liked it as well. I love that era, you know, like the 60s mod look. So I thought it was really cool. Really good idea just with like the pockets and the reveal and all that. So yeah, I mean, Rosé's like killing it lately. So I've not been a huge fan of Rosé this season, but the last like, I don't know, 4 or 5 weeks, she's really been on it.
I agree. This look was everything. You know, I'm just gonna heap on more praise. I also liked that, like the jacket she tore away to reveal the actual outfit. Like that jacket looked amazing too. I feel like a lot of queens, if they have a reveal, like they won't put much into like the outer garment because they know it's just gonna come off anyway. But no, she took the time to like put some effort into it. So props to her.
Yes.
You're exactly
Yeah.
right. Like, I hate that more than anything when the queen walks out and they're just like wearing like a black trash bag over everything.
or a cape.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like she put some fucking effort into like the thing that she was walking out in.
Yeah. My favorite part was when the judges were like, "Oh my gosh, we love your outfit. It shows so much of your shape." And I'm like, "What?"
A triangle.
It's a triangle, girl.
Well,
There's
that's
no
the
shape.
that's the sad part of like Rosé's fashion journey. It's like she likes to put tulle and box herself out. So they're like, "Oh my god, a triangle!
Yeah.
This looks
Wow.
fabulous."
I mean, I will say that's been my criticism of Rosé this season. It's like she hasn't had shape, and like it's always just been like weird with the tooling and stuff. But like, I don't know, they're like there's still no shape. She's a fucking triangle. So like, I don't know what you're talking
Yeah.
about.
Except she won this time because it was an era specific shape of the garment. So it worked
Yeah.
that way. It was very baby doll mod.
I'm not sure if that wig belonged in a mod look, but it wasn't horrible.
She was giving you go-go dancer for sure, like one of the sour grape girls.
Yeah, girl. Don't you want a Fanta? And last but not least is Got Mick. Anybody want a sundial?
This was my favorite.
Yeah, I really liked this. Because at first I thought it's like I was like, oh, like pocket watches, but I guess that's not really what it was. It was more like the Flash. Like she was saying it came from a like Hercules, the movie or something, which I think I've only saw that movie like once, so I don't remember all that. But I don't know. I thought it was really good. Like Gottmik always like to have like a bunch of watches just as your like entire outfit. That's pretty awesome.
And then it's like pocket watch. So just, taking the category that much farther and making yourself stand out in such a fabulous way. Like she looked great. We got Mick's signature makeup a little bit, and again, like Rosé, it was like a lot, but it wasn't giving you too much. It told a story. It took you there. Because I immediately thought when I saw this, like, oh, pocket watch. It's because my dad's obsessed with them. But it's like, I get it. It's just fabulous.
It was fantastic, hands down. I kept wanting her to just stay still so I could look at all of the detail. Like,
yes.
how did she like glue all these watches on? How many watches did she actually have on that garment? Like,
right.
I was just so deeply fascinated by it.
I really wanted one of those 360 spin moments that they do at all the award shows now. Like, I needed that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, girl. Yes. Great look. I can't say anything bad about this look, of course. So at the end of this episode, Rosé wins the challenge. So congratulations to her.
Well deserved, Rosé. You were the best in the acting challenge, and you brought it with the look tonight.
Yeah, I think there could have been like I think we could also make a case for Gottmik winning this week.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I agree. I was fine with Rosé winning, but yeah, Gottmik also had a very good week.
I feel like I feel like she's like the underdog. Like they don't really like sell her as much as the other queens.
Right. We had a moment with Gottmik watching them on this runway in particular, because it was just like, wow, this queen could win. I want this queen to win. There's just like so much growth over the season and the personal story. And she's been on her come up too. Like it's the end of the competition. Some of the queens start to do really well in the end. And Gottmik is definitely in that category with Rosé.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be like totally honest. Like this always happens to me during RuPaul seasons, but there's a moment where something hits me and I'm like, this person is the winner. And like for me, this episode, it hit me. I'm like, I want Gottmik to win this season. Like I am full on like Gottmik needs to win. Like that's who I'm rooting for. It needs to happen.
And clearly they were the top two based on the judging.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm not mad that Rosé won, but I don't know. Rosé's just like one. I don't know. Let Gottmik have another one. But then we have Candy and Olivia in the bottom two, which I definitely agree with.
Yeah, there's no getting away from this one.
Yeah, I know we got to talk about it. I think I echo Stoney's sentiments when I said that personally, Olivia won this lip sync, but they had to push Candy to the finale.
Y'all have heard everything I've had to say about Candy. I don't dislike her. A couple episodes back, I said if I were a contestant, I would want to make sure that I got to the end based on my performance and what I've brought to the show. And I don't know if it was editing during the lip sync, but all I saw was a lot of arms and heads being thrown back with Candy, and Olivia was looking fierce and giving you full performance. And they were just like, yeah, no, we're taking Candy. Bye.
Girl, this was like all editing. Like, honestly, I feel like I've learned so much from Seth, like from this podcast, because this was the first time where I was watching, like, so when they like focus on Candy doing something outlandish, I kept my eye on Olivia the entire time. And Olivia was serving this lip sync the entire time. She was so amazing. And they kept cutting to Candy doing like something stupid and then cut to Rue laughing. And it was like, okay, like that was like they were so forcing like these comedic moments with Rue. And like if you actually watched Olivia during this entire time, she slayed that lip sync. Candy did not. Candy, she threw some glitter in the air and she pointed like Joe Black from UK a couple times at people, and that's all she did. like Olivia won the lip sync. You can't tell me otherwise. She won the freaking lip sync.
Yeah.
I agree. I can see it. I mean, Candy was going for this more comedic take of like kind of taking the lyrics and kind of pointing fun at Olivia. But I wonder if it also just comes down to like how much drama is this queen going to add to like the finale? And like with Olivia Lux, like she's fantastic, but I think in the producer's eyes, she wasn't going to add as much drama or conflict, and wouldn't have made as much. It would have just been a little like safe and pleasant, and that wasn't really what they wanted in the final episode. So I agree, but unfortunately there's some producer shenanigans involved.
Totally. They forget too that like these girls become friends over this entire course of filming. All these queens get really close. So Candy muses or not, there's going to be drama in the end when it's like, oh shit, this is it. Like it's me or you.
Well, and yeah, and I agree with you, Will. Like I think if they put, like, I see why they put Candy in the top 4, right? Like if you put Olivia in the top, like she's not going to provide as much drama. She really probably is not going to win, honestly. With Candy in there, she is a little bit of an X factor, so it makes you like kind of wonder. So I don't know. I see why they put her in there, but like if we're just talking about the actual lip sync itself, I'm just kind of like, she didn't win it. So
Definitely not. Also, let's go ahead and move into Untucked for a quick few points here. In Untucked, Olivia says that she's getting frustrated that they don't think she knows who she is. And she says she's evolving. And then Rosé says she thinks that, you shouldn't be exploring who you are on Drag Race. And I'm like, I don't know if I agree with that.
I did a lot of thinking about that because it's like, okay, she's saying good things, Rosé, but also at the same time, you're all on this show doing something new, exploring, doing all of these different kinds of challenges, figuring out your drag. Olivia knows who they are. I just think that she struggles with kind of pushing it and really solidifying that character.
well, and like what Rosé said goes against everything that we've learned about RuPaul's Drag Race, which is like they want people like queens to come on the show and like learn about themselves and grow and become a better like person. And like Rosé's like, actually, you shouldn't go on the show to do any of that.
Stoney's brought the invoices today. He's reading y'all all the receipts and facts.
I agree. And like change and growth is inevitable on this like life-altering reality show. I mean, Rosé has changed since the very beginning of the season. So I definitely agree with that. I think it's one thing to kind of have like a personal brand more solidified, which I don't know how many queens actually do at the start of the show, but like yeah, I just don't fight change necessarily if something is going to happen.
Right. And I just really admire Olivia too, because this is for the second time they're on the runway and everybody says that she should be the one to go home. And she's just like so calm about it.
They want to see Olivia fight for herself, but at the end of the day, like RuPaul's Drag Race included, there are some people out there who maybe for a good reason, they just don't like to make waves, or it's just not their personality. Like you can't tell a person to just, well, why aren't you so mad? I'd be so mad. Well, I'm not you, Candy. I'm not going to question everybody in the room and then scream at them.
Right.
That's not who I am. So like they kind of have to stop pushing at some point and just kind of see if she can. We're here for drag. See if we can elevate her drag. If she elevates her drag and grows this Olivia Lux character and persona, like y'all just want to see Olivia scream, and then oh, maybe you would have kept her around. It's not adding up to me.
I agree, and I always get a little frustrated when Rue asks this question at the end of the season. I mean, it's for the drama. It doesn't necessarily like help anything, and oftentimes it doesn't even create like that much drama.
Mhm.
I wish that the queens would have more fun with it. Like I would have loved for RuPaul to say like I don't know, like Candy Muse, who do you think should go home tonight? And she just stares RuPaul dead in the eye and says, "You," like or something like that, you know, just completely
Yes.
off the wall. Like it, yeah, it doesn't have any weight to it necessarily. So just have fun.
Yeah, and you know
Yeah.
this question's coming, so don't take it personally. We're all here, applying for the same job. Only one of us can get it. There's only one position, sis.
Right, and it's so easy when you can just say Candy. Like, I mean, Candy's right there. So,
Well, that one
Yeah.
unfortunately was like the nail in the head because yeah, you do have to like fight for yourself, but Olivia, she doesn't like to make waves, but there's like a nice Olivia Lux kind of way to say like it's this person, but kind of her showing an unwillingness to say someone's name. RuPaul doesn't like that. So that was kind of the nail in the coffin.
But I did like to see that video message from Olivia's mom and grandmother because like you can totally tell where her drag character comes from.
Oh, yes, 120%.
I love that part of it where it's like you basically just created your drag character from your family.
Which they've said before, but now we're getting to see it like for ourselves.
I can definitely see a family resemblance. And speaking of Lux, like Olivia's mom and grandma look stunning.
Right?
Like my mouth was hanging open while I was watching this. Like these are some gorgeous human beings.
Yes, that's the word I would use. They're sitting there like
Yes.
gorgeous and unbothered.
Because like sometimes the family members come on and they look kind of busted, but like not
Oh,
but this
shit.
time like Olivia's mom and grandma, like they were like, bitch, like we got the hair person, we got the makeup artist coming over, like we have a stylist.
Look, you're not going to see any family of Olivia Lux probably without a full beat and a nice laid wig on, okay?
Definitely not.
We're serving style, honey.
And then of course, last but not least, we should probably discuss Candy Muse's panic attack right before the lip sync.
That's what I would call it. Like I actually had dipped out and I hopped on the phone with my siblings really quick. So I didn't see this, but Stoney was filling me in and I was like, it sounds like she's just having a panic attack.
Yeah. I was like trying not to hate watch this. I don't want to say that because it's like I don't want to like what's the word? I don't want to like downplay or like her
Brush off
anxiety
of that.
attack because that is a real thing. So I don't want to say it was for TV or whatever, but it did seem like she was just really freaking the hell out about going home. Like, so I felt bad for her in that aspect.
Yeah, I mean, panic attacks are awful for anyone. I think it also kind of gave some more context to her kind of narrative arc for the episode. Like, okay, maybe she also won the lip sync because it's kind of this like underdog moment. Like she's fighting against her own anxiety to kind of like push through and like deliver a performance. But I really wanted to know more about whoever this on-set medic is for Drag Race. Like, what's a day in the life
What's
of the
their story?
official Drag Race medic like, you know?
Passing out band-aids for when the heels are rubbing too much on the feet.
Something like that. Yeah, I don't know. I did feel bad for Candy, and I could totally I feel like this not was I enjoyed seeing this in the fact that it made Candy more human to me.
Yes.
So and like I've had panic attacks and stuff before, so it was really easy for me to relate to her in that aspect. And like I don't know, I mean, there's really no way to fake like that, like high of blood pressure.
Yeah.
Like 188 over 111 is like you're about to die. Like so like it was not good. It was like clear like she was like freaking the fuck out.
That's
Yeah.
a great point, because people forget that these are just everyday people on a TV show, and it's nice to kind of see the human side of anyone, whatever that looks like. But also, this is bringing awareness too. It's like, hey, we need to just chill out. These people are going through real feelings and emotions on this show.
I mean, the show is a pressure cooker. So, I mean, it is
Mhm.
like one of those things that it's just these queens really get in their heads. I mean, look at like Simone, like crying over like the fact that she's dominated this season. It's like sometimes you just like have these feelings that aren't really like aren't true, right? But like you get in your head about things, and it's easy to just like flip out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's lots of pressure on you, to do well. So
Yeah.
I understand her having the panic attack for sure. Like kind of what Simone said. It's like I totally understand why Candy would have this panic attack. All right, let's go ahead and move on into our fantasy league. Stoney, would you like to tell us where we're all standing here?
Yes. So I'm still in last place
Good job, girl.
with 245 points.
You did it.
Seth is way ahead of me at 345 points.
Yes, bitch.
And then Jamal is slightly ahead in first place with 370 points.
I don't call it a comeback, girls. I'm coming for you.
I see the gap closing. I'm sweating over here.
And
Better watch out.
I did hold off on giving any points for the top like 4 or 3, because I'm assuming it's going to be like a top 3, but or somebody will get
Ellie Diamond.
Ellie Diamond or or Roxy at the end. So I'm just going to hold on that to see who makes top 3, or if there really is a top 4.
Fair.
Okay.
Fair.
We'll see how it goes. Oh man. Well, another episode in the books. I have to ask Will, who do you think, like not who do you want, who do you think is going to win this season?
Oh wow. Okay. Who do I think and who do I want? I feel like it's kind of the same person. I've been rooting for Gottmik since day one. I think that Gottmik has also gotten a pretty favorable edit and like critiques overall.
Mhm.
And I think it's also like in the show's benefit to be like giving such a huge platform to like a trans dude and really like allowing them to like have this impactful message. So I hope it's Gottmik. I mean, honestly, like Rose and Simone, I think those 3 that's my ideal top 3. I think any of them would honestly do fantastic things with the prize money and the official title. I'm bracing myself for whatever this this cover of the RuPaul song is going to be next week. Like it's I from the preview I watched, it seems like the queens are going to be like writing their own verses to another RuPaul single, and I mean it's definitely not going to be anywhere close to Read You Wrote You, but hopefully we're not as bad as like the slow soft rock Super Queen from All Stars 4. That was
Super Queen.
Oh, that was tedious to
She's a
watch.
Super Queen.
I agree with
She's
Will.
a Super Queen.
Oh, great. Now he's going to be singing this one.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Congratulations.
I agree with you, Will. Like, he's on a roll now. That's my ideal top 3 too. I think anybody would be a great winner of those 3. I feel like I want it to be Gottmik, and I feel like it will be Gottmik. Of course, I'd love to see Simone up there, but Gottmik has just proven themselves and has been pushing it and doing continually better.
Yes, girl. I'm basically team anybody but Candy. So
RuPaul's Drag Race, so like I'm pretty sure everyone would stop if Candy won somehow. I mean, there are definitely Candy stands out there. Don't get me wrong, but a lot of people are like, not based on this judging girl this whole season.
I mean, she was already like eliminated like halfway through the competition. So like I'd really like to
There's
have to
that.
just, have push her to the end of into the show and then have her win. Like that just seems like a real stretch.
And this is honestly the first time where I legit feel like someone was pushed to the end. Like other times you're like kind of questionable, like, oh, I don't really understand why this person's here, but you can kind of like see it. Like, but this is the first time where I'm like, legit, they pushed her into the end. Like, you can't deny it. Like they pushed her into the end.
It's pretty clear.
Yeah. Yes. Do you have any parting words before we leave, Will? Is there anything you'd like to promote or anything you'd like to say?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I so many things. I'm so on the spot here. Well, first off, if you enjoyed me on this podcast episode, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at the Will Jameson, and that is Jamison. I can see Seth doing motions like while I'm like spelling that out. But yeah, you can find my work also at willjamesonart.com. I'm always available for any freelance illustration or comics opportunities. Yeah, I don't know, be kind to everyone. Like, oh my God, the news is a nightmare now. Matt Gaetz is allowed to go in public. Like,
Yeah.
Ugh.
all of these
It's
like
wild.
anti-Asian hate crimes are happening, and like, my God, just treat people like human beings, even if they're
Yeah.
completely different from you.
That's right. Oh my gosh. Mind your business and be nice, people. Maybe learn about each other too. That would be a good start.
Yes, girl. Go big, be nice, go west, or whatever.
was that Nina West's full slogan?
Yeah.
They edit that out on the show, huh?
I'm ready
The
for
oral
her
part.
just like be our queen or something. Just go around and you can
Yeah.
like be nice to everyone.
Yeah.
I
Love
will
her.
say, on like a final note for Drag Race, I noticed that Olivia, was this the first time that she was kind of using like live as a pun? Like go out and live or live free, or what did she say exactly?
She's like, you're gonna live or something like that.
And she was walking out and I was like, okay, this is the new t-shirt slogan. Like I can just see it now.
Oh,
yeah, because that's like her slogan from her soda pop commercial.
Mhm.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So she's definitely branding it.
Oh yeah, she's got these cute little keychains too that I'm kind of tempted to buy. They're a yellow and red mini purse. The keychains on each one, it
Ooh.
says live and the other one says Lux.
I do like the mini purse. That's cool.
Yeah, she did walk out with her mini purse too.
Yep.
Yes, girl. Well, thanks so much for being on the show. Will, we had so much fun with you again, as always.
Per
Well, thank you for
usual.
having me again. And I will proudly own up to being a fugly slut.
Yeah, make sure to head over to Will's Instagram and Twitter and call them a fugly slut.
No OnlyFans yet, but I don't know. Maybe if there's enough audience demand, I might possibly sort of consider it.
Ooh.
Yes, finally.
Support queer artists.
Offer code TFC pod for 10% off Will's OnlyFans.
Yeah, I feel like if I were to do an OnlyFans, it would literally just be me like on a Zoom call setup, just like giving you positive affirmations. Like that's just
Yeah,
me, you know.
I mean-
I'm not gonna strip.
Look,
The world could use that.
there's a fetish for everything, so I'm sure somebody would be into it.
Yeah, maybe you can get into one of the ones where you like bounce on the balloons and stuff.
Gotta make a side hustle somehow.
We love a side hustle.
There you go.
Yes. All right, you all. It's been another fun week over here. Thanks for coming, the Most Magically Gay podcast. We will be back next week, of course, with more Drag Race finale, top 4, whatever is happening next week. But until then, bye.
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 I'm acting.
And that is called acting, honey.
Yes.